May profits be upon you. I hope you had a great trading week last week because you should have. All right. It was a challenging week. Yeah, it was a little challenging because some markets are kind of ranged a little bit. But with the video that I put out last Sunday, you should have had some good direction. You should have been able to wait for those pullbacks, wait for the flagging that I stressed in the last video. And if you waited for your setup, you would have gotten it, and you should have been able to take advantage of some fantastic opportunities. Now, this week, there's going to be some fantastic opportunities. There's always fantastic opportunities, always there. You just got to find them. You just got to be able to see them. Now, let's take a look at the trading calendar for next week. All right, on Monday, we have the Reserve Bank of Australia, excuse me, with an interest rate decision. That'll come on Monday. This is those of you that are in UTC4 time, or that would be Eastern Standard. Okay, 11:30 p.m. on Monday. That's going to be a potential market shifter. Okay, so be careful of this. All right. On Tuesday, we have the Fed chair giving testimony, followed by the next day, Wednesday, with the Fed chair again giving testimony. This is important, folks. We got to find out what their sentiment is. You know, are we going to see a policy shift? Are we going to see the 25 basis point rate hike? Are we going to see less than that? There were some people on the board, some Fed chairs, some Fed members that were looking for a 50 basis point hike in the last meeting prior, right? During January. So, what was that in February? In either case, they I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about a 50 basis point hike, just a few members. So pay attention to that. Also on Wednesday, what do we have? The Bank of Canada interest rate decision. That's going to be a potential shifter. So we want to see, you know, are we going to see a strengthening in the Canadian dollar or a weakening? All right. And then on Thursday, another interest rate decision. All right. For the Bank of Japan. All right. The Bank of Japan has this devaluation kind of thing going on. All right. They're trying to manage their economy and the interest rate and the yields. They have a particular target they want to keep. They want to maintain the current policy. This is something that you want to read into and find some good information on, but you want to watch the interest rate decision coming, because it could add a lot of volatility to that Japanese yen. All right. And then Friday, we have NFP. All right. That's always a good movement. It introduces a lot of volatility to the market. So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at, for next week, a potentially a volatile week. So the waters might get rough, but there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Now, let's take a look at the Dixie. All right, the US dollar index. What we can see on a weekly, this is the weekly time frame. What we can see is what I always like to point out. Let me see if I can use this writing utensil from here. Okay. This is the major breakout level, and this is the COVID breakout level. All right, during March. All right, the major breakout level of 2017. All right, and I've been keeping you guys. I keep mentioning it for you guys. All right, so because it's important. All right, you see how price comes up to it, breaks down, and then gets above it. All right, we finally trade back into it. We get down below it with a weekly close below it, right? Hitting the demand zone, and then we come back up. All right. What are we looking at? What are we looking at from this point, though? The question is, you see the rally at the demand zone. You see this rally. 1, 2, 3, 4, a full month rallying to the upside. Last week, what did I tell you? That look for pullbacks. Look for pullbacks. Last Sunday, I told you, look for those pullbacks. Wait for the pullbacks. Wait for flagging. Wait for the flag. All right. So day to day, this was last Friday's candle. All right. And then you saw price mitigate this demand, this supply zone up here with this relative equal highs. All right. And you saw it pull back. All right. And you could see it a little better on the 4 hour. All right. And this is exactly what I was telling you to look out for. All right. Excuse me. I was telling you to look out for this. All right. This flagging. Wait for the flag. All right. Well, price did flag down and we touched down at this trend line. Okay. And then you saw price rally from here. All right. This was the pullback you wanted to take. This is the pullback you wanted to take right here. All right. And it was great. All right. So you can see that price remained bullish up until this point. Now, here we are again, revisiting the same area in a demand zone. All right. What am I telling you? I'm expecting next week for price to continue to rally. All right. I'm expecting more bullish price action again, but this will depend highly on the Fed chair and his testimony coming Tuesday and Wednesday. And we want to be careful of those time at that time. We want to see if price will continue to be strong for the US dollar. And I suspect that it will, just based on the technicals here. All right. Could price, you see this 4 hour bearish engulfer, that is pretty bearish looking, but here is the confluence of the uptrend and this demand zone. I believe we should get a hold here, and if price starts to rally from here, come Monday, you heard me, come Monday, I believe price will take this week high. All right, I call it a week high because it didn't create a new low. All right, it pulled down, but it didn't create a new low. And if it doesn't do its job, which is only job is to create a new low, it gets liquidated. You understand? So that's what I'm looking for. So if price does continue to rally from here, expect the pound USD, the Euro USD, the Aussie USD, the USDJPY to go up, but expect the pound USD pairs to go down. Expect the USD, USDCAD, USDJPY, USDCAD to go up. You understand? All right. Depending on those interest rate decisions for those countries, the Bank of Canada, the US dollar, I mean the Japanese yen, and the US with the Fed chair talking about the US dollar. Okay, so just based on the technicals, I'm expecting that to go up. Let's move on. Euro USD. All right. If we go to I want you to see something on the weekly. All right. On the weekly, you can see I have these orange lines. Those are the major breakout levels, right? I told you about those. All right. Last week, what did we see? Let me turn this off. It's driving me crazy. All right. Last week, what did we see? This was Monday's candle. I said, wait for the pullback, right? I said, wait for the pullback. Okay. So a price rally the prior week up into this weekly supply. All right. Respected that weekly supply with a very nice rejection down, down, down. All right. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of movement to the downside. Okay. Those candles represent a week each. All right. And where did we come to? We're coming to that major breakout level. All right. Here. All right. Why am I calling that a major breakout level? You can see it over here. All right. And you know that below this level, there is liquidity to come and get. Price did come down below that level. We rallied above it. And here we are with the retest. I suspect that we're going to see some continuation. I told you last week in the last video that price after it came bearing down and then rallied up with this let me see, this was Monday's candle. All right, with this rally up, I said look for the bear flag. Look for the bear flag. Did I not? Just go and review the video and you can see price did flag up. All right, and this can be seen a little more clearly on the 4-hour. So come down, just like the inverse in the US dollar index. You can see that price did in fact, let me get that, let me make sure I'm right here. All right, we got the rally, you know, the bearish flag. We got this move here, that bullish that bearish impulse, and we have the flagging up. All right, where do I think we should go? I'm hoping that price hits this 12-hour supply zone here. I'm hoping that price hits this 12-hour supply zone and then shoots down. I'm looking for price to take out these lows and mitigate this unmitigated demand zone down here. It's a 4-hour demand. And remember, this is a low, this is a swing low, this is a swing high. And that swing high is within this swing low, swing high, swing high, swing low range. All right, we've come back into premium. Remember what I told you before. The high, the swing high, the swing low represents the top, the high and low of your trading range, divided in half. This is your equilibrium, the 50% equilibrium. This is your premium price. This is your discount price. You want to take shorts in your premium section. You want to take longs in your discount. Easy to follow. All right, those give you your highest chance of success. Okay, easy enough to remember. So here in this leg of structure, it didn't take out this low. All right, but you have an impulsive move right behind another impulsive move. When price rallied up here, all right, into this trading range, it tapped the equilibrium of that trading range. And here is where you want to start taking your shorts. All right, price is flagging. All right, when I say flagging, that's a bear flag, and I'm looking for price to complete it down into this 4-hour and attack that low. That's what I'm looking for, price to come towards that low. So look for your shorts, look for your short setups right around here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. All right, if price gives me a daily break and close above that high, then I will change my I'll be forced to reassess and change my outlook. All right, because the interest rate decision could say something different. All right, let's look at Euro pound. I'm going to the daily. All right, I showed this in the chat I hang out at. Just check my you can look at my my description, and you can see that I hang out at the Lions Den VIP, and you can come and hang out with me there if you like. But check this out. You see how price has a trend line going up, right? You can see that clearly on the weekly. All right, on a weekly basis, there is no close below this weekly trend line. You understand? All right, and what I want you to notice is the pattern of price. All right, I'm going to use the utensil here. Let me see if I can get it back. Let's see. This is such a challenge for me. I don't know why. I'm trying my best. All right, so what I want you to know is the low and the high. All right, price made a low here, pushes up, goes into correction, or a call it a bull flag, and then pushes up again, breaking that high, goes into another flag. All right, pushes up. Now we didn't break that high, but we did get a new peak. All right, this is what I want you to notice. Okay, and the higher lows. All right, so we got this last peak here. All right, we got that last peak here, right? And price is again correcting. These orange candle-like looking things is my projection. I believe that we may see some further correcting down to this trend line. And I believe that trend line may hold. We're going to see. But we're coming into this demand zone. I believe this low here is weak because it failed to make a new high. You understand? And I believe we're going to be attacking that low. And we're coming towards it now. So do I want you to take shorts from here? No, wait for a pullback. I'm going to tell you to wait for a pullback. I'm going to, I would advise it anyway. Wait for a pullback. Taking shorts directly from here is kind of dangerous. All right. If price, I think there's a good chance price will flag from here. We'll pull up a little bit, maybe to sweep these highs and test this low here. And we may see an opportunity to get in. Maybe it comes back up and test that trend line, and then we can come on down. But I do believe these lows are going to be attacked because it's weak. They're weak. They're weak lows. They failed to make new highs. All right, just like this one. See how it comes here, comes in. All right, started here, broke structure, great. And here we have the pullback. So let's see. I hope you're able to follow that analysis because I think it's fairly obvious with the candlestick pattern. I mean, not the candlestick pattern, but the price pattern. All right, the price action is giving us some interesting viewpoints here. So from here, from this low, I think this may be a high probability trade to take to the upside. All right, we'll see what the price action is here, but to get here, I think these lows are good to take. I mean, these shorts are good to take. Let's go to the pound USD. All right, pound USD is a little tricky. Yes, it is. Look, this is on the daily. All right, and what do I want you to see? All right, last week, this was, all right, this was Friday's candle. In the last video, I pointed out this is Friday's candle and that there was a weak low over here. Let me see if I can get to it. All right, there's a weak low here. Okay, this thing is acting janky today. Boy, I don't know what's going on with this thing. All right, so we have a weak low here. All right, and I suspected that the 4-hour demand that was created here, I suspected that price would come back for it, but I said, wait for the pullback, wait for the pullback. All right, because it's going to flag. What did it do? It flagged up, and you can see that, like I've been saying, on the 4-hour. You can see it quite obviously here. All right, I mean, pretty obvious anyway. And this is not necessary. If I can just get my life together over here, it'd be all right. All right, so what do we have? The flag, the pullback happened. It left relative equal highs here, but I want you to see that there was a very definitive uptrend. I mean, a downtrend here, sorry. And price was respecting it here. And I was suspecting that price would come back up here to meet that trend line. Price did, all right? Even gave a 4-hour close above it, but never a close above that high, all right? Which makes what? A weak low. This low is weak. So is this one, because it didn't create new highs. You understand that logic now? All right, so price comes up to the demand zone, I mean, to the supply zone up here, rejects hard, breaking structure to the downside. You wait for that pullback, and this is where it came right to the trend line. You wait for that pullback to the trend line, and this is where that entry should have happened for you, down to these lows. This is like 175 pips or something like that, and you should have eaten well. All right, if you did, shout me out, will you please? All right, because I think that was a great setup. All right, so what does price do? It comes down to the lows and then rejects to the upside, leaving relative equal lows below it. There's liquidity up here to come get, liquidity down here to come get, but this is pound USD. What do I expect? I expect USD to remain strong, and the pound to remain relatively weak, or it's been moving sideways, but it's relatively weak, and I do believe the USD will continue to outperform it. We are at this supply, right? And we are at this trend line. I believe we should keep an eye on what price does here. On the lower time frames, you may see your setup for a sell, and I believe sells are in order. All right, so wait for confirmation for a sell and take it down, because I believe this low, these lows are weak, and they will be liquidated. Let's go. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss. Now, I need you to see this on the daily. All right, it's pound Swiss. Another weak low. What makes that low weak? Did it make a new high? Did it make a new high? Did it break and close above that high? No, it did not. All right. Did leave some liquidity up there, though. All right, but that's for later. That means this may be a target. Price comes down. Another week attempt to make a new high. That failed. So this low is weak. And then we come and sweep that low. We create this pattern here. And this was last week. This was last week. I said, this is the Friday candle. I said, look for price to flag. All right, to bear flag. It pulls up into this demand zone. This is where you're supposed to have taken your short, and you should be in your short right now, managing your trade. If price pulls back, don't be scared about it, because I don't think it takes that high. But if your stop loss is above structure up here, you know, up in this region, you shouldn't be scared. All right, I believe price may come back to mitigate this supply zone once again. You know, just on the off chance, but I think we'll have a definitive answer on that on Monday. I'm looking for price to continue down this way. All right, and because these lows are weak, and we have an unmitigated demand zone down here. We have lower highs being made. We'll see. We'll see. We've already gone into the fair value gap. We had a reaction from it, maybe a push, and then down. That's what I'm looking for. All right, look for that on your 4 hour. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Pound yen. I'm not, you know, we got a little wedge thing happening here, but I'm not into a whole bunch of wedges. What I want to point out is last week on the daily, I did mention that this fair value gap would probably get filled because price was going to what? To bear flag, right? And what happened? Tell me what happened. You can see it. You can see the obvious. This was Friday's candle right here. All right. I said, wait for it to flag. Price went up. You see how it butts up against this downtrend line, right? Just trend line there, and was not able to break and close above it, but it did reach up to this the supply zone, which is the wrong color. Should be gray. All right, well, we went up to supply, mitigated, had a very nice rejection, no close above this trend line, and price is starting to move down. Now it's a weak, it doesn't have a lot of momentum to it, so be careful. That price could go back up to sweep this high, still mitigate this zone. All right, this isn't the greatest zone in the world because it doesn't have a sweep of liquidity. All right, so it could go up higher. All right, price could go up higher and then come down. All right, I'm looking for that kind of action. I'm looking for that kind of action, but you have to be careful with pound, because look at the low, look at the high. Where are we? We're right in the middle. All right, there isn't a lot of momentum in either direction. So this isn't my favorite market to trade. We did spend a lot of time in consolidation here. We finally get a close above it, all right, only to mitigate this zone up here, coming up towards these highs. All right, maybe price may range next week. here until we get some definitive word from the Fed chair in regards, not the Fed chair, but the Bank of Japan. But if Japan remains weak, we should see the pound start to outperform it, and we may see a break above and a pullback. Take that pullback. Wait for the pullback. I want to see this supply zone taken out first. All right. With a break and close above, I'm waiting for price to come back, and this would be the buy opportunity. All right. That's a buy opportunity. That's my buy setup, scenario. If price wants to go lower, I'm waiting for it to take out this low. All right. I want to see a break, a daily candle break and close below that low. And then I'll take the pullback and look for price to take out these lows, because this is a weak low. This is a weak low because it didn't make a new high. Got it? That's my logic for both sides. Be careful with pound yen. Be careful with pound yen. This one could go either way right now because this is in the middle. So you want to definitely look for some confirmations. US dollar, yen. That's one of my favorite ones. Why? Because it was a simple price was channeling, and it's obvious that the channel was there. I just lost my mouse. What the heck happened here? Okay. Let's see if we can get this right. All right. Here we go. You see our price for since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is very definitive, very funky, right? But what did I tell you? I said, wait on the price to flag. Price went up here to its high, and then it came back. I said, wait for that pullback. This was the pullback. Came back to this. This is a daily zone of demand. Price came back up with a break and close above that high, and we are pulling back. Look for price to give you an opportunity to take another long position. Now, what I want to tell you is it could go long from its current price, from current prices. It could go long from here. I'm looking for price to come back down here, maybe to sweep that low, and then give us a very nice entry to the upside. Okay, this was your entry. This is your entry. If your stop loss is either below here or below here, you're good to go. Just hold on. All right. Price may come back down, sweep for liquidity, and then come back higher. It may come down and not come remitigate this demand zone. Just keep an eye on price, because I believe on Monday you'll definitely have an answer on that. Okay. All right. But I am bullish on this, and I'm looking for US dollar to outperform the yen, and I'm looking for price to come up to this red line up here at 137.780. Okay. It's been following the proper pattern. If you looked at my last video, you understand my breakdown of it, that I believe that price would, break higher as it climbs these stairs, the same way it climbed down them. All right. It climbed down. So as it finds its footing here, I believe the next move will be up here. If we get a daily break and close below this low, look for price to continue down. Okay, catch the pullback and then take that short. But for now, I'm bullish in this market, and I want to see it go up higher. USDCAD. USDCAD is an interesting one as well. If we go to the daily, all right, I'm just making note that price was respecting this diagonal line. There is a breakout level here, 1.3300. It's a key level of support and resistance. All right, you can see that price formed this demand zone here, and then rallied hard to the upside, finally came back down, but we just barely missed the demand mitigation, the mitigation of this demand zone. And then we rallied up, but we didn't rally up past that high. That makes this a what? A weak low. All right. We tried it again. We failed to make a new high, came back down. Right. And then we see the rally breaking out of this consolidation, breaking out of this ridiculous pattern, and this key level here where we found price finding support, finding resistance, support, resistance, and then here. All right. I was looking for price to continue higher, but what you want to do is not get ahead of yourself. All right. You don't see the momentum to the upside just yet, right? So if we look at this on the 4-hour, what I want you to see was what I was pointing out before. Wait for the pullback. All right. Price did pull back. This was a great pullback. All right. Oops, I'm sorry. This was a great pullback. This is what I was telling you to wait on. Price was going to flag, a bull flag. All right. It comes down back into this consolidation. All right. Never breaking, never closing below these levels here. Come back and retest those and then push higher. This never broke that high though. All right. So what does that make this? What does that make that low? It makes it weak, right? Price consolidates, had a little trouble getting lower, we push higher. And I do believe that price has created a liquidity zone to come and get. And I believe that price will mitigate this unmitigated demand zone here, right? At this level, at the key levels that I just finished pointing out, all right? I believe that there's a good chance that we come and sweep these lows, mitigate this zone, and then go higher. All right. Doesn't have to happen. Price doesn't have to come down here, but I'm just noticing that there's a lot of liquidity points here. All right, where people have stop losses. All right. And we are failing to get higher here. So if price comes down in here, this will be a high probability place to take long positions, in my opinion. If price continues higher from here, I think these I would wait until we get a candle body break and close above these highs, and then I'll wait for the pullback of that breakout zone right around here. All right, I'll wait for the pullback here, and then I will take a buy from there, but not until then. I want that buy from down here. You understand? That's where my price is. I'm waiting for that buy to at least hit this key level. All right, the key level's at 1.3500. Let's move on. Aussie USD. Aussie USD. I like this one. I told you I love this one in the last couple of videos. Why? Because it was a very nice head and shoulders here, mitigating the as price mitigated the weekly supply zone up here. All right, sweeping liquidity here, mitigating, and then coming down. A very nice rejection from there. Pull back. Look at this lovely flag. You know, this is a great flag. All right, price impulsively moves down, corrects, and then we go further down. This is all you want. This is how you want to trade. You want to see it simply, right? All right. Here I got a little check mark because there was a fair value gap, a small one that I said price would come back and get right at the neck, the neckline, right? But what I want you to notice is this. Look at the 4-hour. Look at the 4-hour here. All right. Here is a demand zone. This is, I got the check mark here because there was no inducement in the structure. There was no, if it did that, this point of liquidity would be the inducement to have price come back here, sweep liquidity, mitigate, and then rally or do whatever it's going to do. But if there's no inducement point, this becomes the inducement point. That's why that exclamation mark is there. It's like a caution sign for me. Anyway, it made a demand zone here, right? Price has a reaction to it here, all right? And then We break and close below it. All right, I'm looking for price to come back up and test this. It does get close, but it doesn't mitigate that low. It doesn't mitigate that low. It doesn't trade into the bullish candle here. All right. And here we are coming back for another test. I believe we're going to mitigate it this time. All right. Now there's a chance it may want to come up higher and mitigate here because this is the area of the breakout. All right. You can see how it was support there, and then resistance here, and then resistance, and then support. All right, we finally crashed through, get back above. What the heck is going on here? We finally crash through, get back above, and then we crash through again, and then we crash through this demand zone. Demand fails, so I'm looking for the supply to turn into a demand to supply flip, and I'm looking for price to come down lower, sweeping these lows, because those look like liquidity points. That's what I'm thinking. All right, you can kind of see it coming on the daily. Okay, so if you look at it in the big scheme, the bigger picture, this is your high, this is your low. All right, this is your swing high and low. All right, yeah, you got a lot of this going on here and everything, but swing high, swing low, and we pull back into premium price. I'm looking for price to come down towards these lows. Look at these relative equal lows here. I'm looking for price to maybe flag up and then come on down, sweeping these lows. So I'm looking for shorts. Yes, I am. Is there a buy to take? Sure, you can take a buy if you like to. Take a daily, what do you call a day trade to the upside. It may come up to this demand, this supply up here, but I'm looking at this supply first. That's it. All right, on the 4-hour chart, I got these two zones that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this one first. If it uses this as inducement to mitigate higher, then this will be the one. But you look for your pattern. You look for your patterns. This is a great area to take sell side liquidity. So I'm looking for price to come up here and give me my setup. If it doesn't give it to me there, I'm looking for it here. This is a high probability short, in my opinion. Okay, this one's going to be a decent short if it sets up. NZDUSD. All right. Now, if we go to the daily, what do you see? You can see it. Lows. Structure. The lows are being broken all the way down. So it's been bearish. Big, huge rally up into this supply zone. But what did we hit? Price is rejecting from the trend line, right? These peaks. Not only from that trend line, but there is a supply zone right there. One rejection, sweeps that high, still rejecting, still mitigating the same supply zone. And then we have a break of market structure to the downside. On a daily basis, we have a close below that low. Very bearish situation for me. So I'm looking for price. You see where the eye is. I'm looking for price to come back up here to the flip zone. This is a demand zone that failed. We have a break and close below it. It failed. All right. We have the reaction to the same failed demand zone. This is where the flip happens. All right. Flip to supply. Boom. I'm hoping that price comes on up there and gives me a high probability short to the downside. That's it. Got it? Okay. But can you take a buy to that sell? Of course you can. Both directions are very tradable. On the 4-hour, I want to show you what I'm talking about. On the 4-hour, you can see that price pushes up. All right. You can see that it made a lower low. It broke that high. All right. That gives you a change of character. This is a, you wait for the return to impulse here. All right. Price returns to impulse, comes back into discount price, respects that low. And this is a push, breaking market structure to the upside. That's what you want to see, an internal break of market structure. On the pullback to this breakout range is your entry. Boom. We sweep these highs for liquidity. Great. All right. That's awesome. You know you're doing right. You're taking profit, right? You pull back. The price pulls back. Where would it pull back to? Where would it pull back to? All right. It pulls back. If this is the low and this is the high, that's your range. It's pulling back below the 50%. That means it's pulling back into discount, and you're waiting there with your buy stop. Price comes back, taps you in, and you're bouncing. You're adding to this position. All right. Your stop loss is right at the entry for your second trade. Because if price comes back into your goes all the way to your stop loss on your first trade, you want to be at break even. You want to be at break even on your first entry. So you don't want to lose a whole bunch. You don't want to lose twice. You understand? You already took profit here. All right. So you're already good. All right. You're at break even here. And if price comes back and takes you out of your first trade, it'll take you out of both trades. All right. It's still in a profitable position. That's all I'm saying. Hope that I didn't confuse you with all of that, because sometimes I can. All right. Anyway. What now? What next? What are you waiting on? What did I just tell you? The eye is there. I'm watching for price to come up here, complete these two trades, and put me into my high probability sell to the downside. I believe this will be a high probability sell to the downside. So we'll see. This is after breaking structure, this is a return to impulse. So we'll see. That's what I'm looking for. Bang, boom. Next, gold. Let's talk about gold. All right. I talked about it last week. I won't go through a whole rehash, but prices kind of moved sideways. Finally peaked to the high side, then we break low and we pull back. Remember what I tell you. If you just keep in mind that the highs, if I could just get my life together. All right. The highs and the lows are the top and bottom of your trading range. The middle is the equilibrium, the 50% mark. If price comes back up, this is where you want to take your short from premium, not from discount. You want to take your longs from discount, from this pullback. All right. It didn't come all the way back. I would have liked it if it would have came down here. This would have been a better setup for me, but it comes up here and then it just has a short pullback here, chaps around, and then you start looking for other reasons to enter your trade, which I ain't gonna go into right now. All right, for continuity, a continuation trade. What now? All right. So this is daily. I said wait for the pullback, didn't I? I said wait for flagging last Friday. All right, price finally started to flag. All right, you could have took this beautiful buy from here. You could have took that beautiful buy. That's a very tradable situation there. All right, price worked its way down, reacted to this demand zone. All right, that ultimately failed. So what am I looking for? The flip, right? Demand to supply flip. We can have that reaction up here. That's why you see those blue lines there, because I'm waiting for price to come up here so I can take a high probability trade to the downside. And I'm going to be targeting this low. All right. I'd like to see it come down to 1800 is what I'd like. All right. So if we go to the 4 hour, I just want you to get an eyeful of it. All right. This is what I'm looking for, folks. I'm going to say it one time. I want to see the price make a high, pull back. All right. Make a low, which is a higher low in this instance. A higher high sweeping that high that sweeps liquidity, and then a pull, but then a demonstrative, deliberate break of that low. All right, this is your trading range. All right, this is the new down leg. Once it breaks market structure, that's a down leg. All right. You wait for a price to pull back into the premium price of this leg of structure. That's your entry. And that's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to be looking for that entry as soon as price hits this this zone. This is a daily zone. It's kind of wide. All right. Price could sweep these highs and you know that once it sweeps that high, then I'll be looking for that break of market structure, and I'll wait for the pullback, and I can take that down. Or price could actually make the move as soon as it touches. It can make the move here. All right. I'm looking for the same pattern, either the high here of it, or up here, because this is the extreme of the 4-hour supply zone. All right. The whole thing is a daily supply zone. This is the 4-hour embedded in the daily. So price could come up here. All right. Then give me my break of market structure. I'll wait for the pullback and I'll take it. You understand? That's it. That's the logic. Let's go to silver. Silver's great. Silver's awesome. Silver is awesome. All right. You can see how price meandered up here as it's mitigating the weekly supply zone. Bigger picture, there is a trend line. You can see it. And it respected that trend line at the mitigation of this supply. All of that. Very precipitous drop here. This was awesome, man. You had to have caught this. All right. And what am I waiting for now? Let's get rid of that. Let's clean up. All right. What am I waiting for now? Price has come down, swept this low, broke this demand zone. If a demand fails, what am I looking for? That flip, right? Let's go down to the 4-hour. And we have a similar situation like we have on gold. I don't know why that moved over. All right. Right here. This is a weekly breakout. I want to show you this. Hit here, hits there. You understand? As resistance, as support, comes down, plays against it, finally breaks through. This demand fails. All right. It comes back up. It comes back up to the flip, hits the supply, and then we have the precipitous drop down. We have a reaction to it. It comes back up, creates another supply zone as it breaks this demand zone. All right. Sweeps that low, sweeps this low for liquidity. And then we have a flag happening. And I told you last week, look for that flag. Look for that flag. If price comes up here, I believe we may have a high, what the hell was that? All right. I believe that we may have a high probability trade to the downside from here or from the breakout zone here. All right. If price takes out these highs, then I'll be looking for it here. But I'm looking for that first opportunity. I'm looking for that same entry pattern here. I'm looking for that flag as it comes up and take that short. It's that simple. I'm hoping that I'm keeping it simple enough for you. Okay. All right. Now, this is all about simplicity. If it's too complicated, who wants to do it, man? Who wants to do it? You know what I mean? Look at the S&P. I love the S&P. All right. And you can see that it's been respecting this trend line to the upside. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Look what happened last week. I pointed this out. Did I not? What day was this? This is a Friday's candle. All right. I said it's hit exactly to the pip. To the pip. You like that? To this upward trend line here, right? And I said, look for the pullback. That pullback didn't happen until Thursday and then Friday. All right. Notice that we didn't get a daily close below this low from Friday's low. All right. This is where you take your buy. All right. It was a short-term buy, and that's what I was promoting. Price came down, mitigated this unmitigated demand zone, which I pointed out. I said, take it, take it. This is where your demand, this is where you should have entered that short-term buy. And I said, Don't swing for the fences. Don't try and take out that high and all that good stuff for a TP. Look for these lows. All right, look for these lows. It's right around that area right now. I don't like to hold, especially with the indices. I don't like to hold over the weekend. So, you got to get your, you can if you want to, but Mondays tend to have gaps, open gaps and stuff that can wreak havoc on a trading account if you don't know you don't really know what you're doing. That's not your style of trading. So I'm looking for price to quite possibly you're like, what now, right? You're doing all this talking. What about now? Look for this supply. All right, you see how price comes up, makes that high, makes it high, right around all of these all of these rejections are at the midpoint of this daily supply zone. Okay, I like this supply to hold because I think the supply is pretty strong. All right, and I'm looking at a supply chain to be respected here. I'm looking here. If I can just get the thank you. All right, so if price comes back up, comes up higher here, I'm looking for this to hold. All right, I'm looking because this is a bullish flag to me. We may come back down, we may come back up, all of this. All right, but this is a very sensitive market, like the other indices, to the Fed chair, and it'll have an immediate impact. Whatever the Fed chair is talking about, whatever he starts talking about the interest rate and the rate hikes, the very next rate hike and all, it's going to have a very immediate reaction. It's going to give a very immediate reaction to whatever the Fed chair says. So I'm looking for price to maybe flag up and hit the supply and then come back down. I am definitely looking for a price to come and sweep these lows. I'm looking for this low to be attacked. All right, because if this is the top and bottom of your trading range, we have failed to make a new high. All right, so I'm looking for price to come and challenge this that low. If we go to the 4 hour, I can clean up fast enough. All right, you can see we're well on our way with this little late rally, because this is the reaction on Friday's talk from those that sit other Fed members talking about easing up and stuff. So I'm looking for price to quite possibly maybe coming around this area here. All right, and we could see a reaction of sorts here. Okay, and maybe we get that rounding here and we take that low out. All right, could price sweep these highs? It certainly could. And if we get a daily close above this level, which is right around, let's call it 42. All right, yeah, 420. All right, 4200. Sorry, 4200, 4200. We see a daily close above that, then I'm gonna I'll be looking at a bullish market here, and I'll be looking for a price to pull up, and then I'll wait for the reaction to this breakout range. All right, I'll look for a pullback, and then I would take a buy there. That's in that scenario. Right now, I am bearish on this market, and I think the high probability trades are to the downside. All right, it may happen lower. All right, it may happen lower. We may see it here. All right, and we come down to mitigate this demand zone down at 38.64, because this is classic. This would be classic inducement points for this zone to be mitigated. Okay. Do I have any more? All right, we'll do oil and I'll call it a day. All right. On oil daily. Let's go to the daily. I like oil, WTI. I am bullish in oil. I am not bearish. If you want to take shorts, you can if you'd like. All right. I don't think the shorts are high probability. I think they're short term, but look at this range. Just look at this range, right? Look how price has been in this little range here. Do you want to take a trade from the middle of a range? No, you do not. You wait until you get to the extreme. You buy at the lows or you sell at the highs, one or the other. All right. Wait for a breakout. Now, these highs here, I'm waiting for at this line, at this 81.90. I'm looking for a daily breaking close above that high. All right, above these highs. All right, we get a daily break and close above these highs. I'll wait for the pullback, and then I'll take it here. All right, now there's a chance we're going to get that pullback soon. All right, look at on a daily basis. I want you to see something. We're coming back towards these highs, the highs of this range, but there is a demand. There's a supply zone here, right? You can see it right there. There's a supply zone here. It's been mitigated already. All right, it's been mitigated once. We may see a sweep of that high and then a pullback. All right, this pullback I will look at as a bear flag, and I'll be looking for price to give me an opportunity. If I see it hit this demand zone down here, if I see it hit this demand zone and then give me a break of market structure to the upside, I'll wait for the pullback and then I will jump on this thing. All right. Now you might say, "Oh, that's in the middle or whatever like that." You can, and you would be right. But there is a what do you call it? A trend line down here. All right, and I believe that the market has made this sweep already here. All right, and made a higher low here. If we take out this high, all right, that would be that. For me, it's an indication that price wants to continue higher. And I would look at this low, I would look at this, the breaking of that high, as a pullback into discount. And I want to take advantage of that pullback into discount. Now, if price doesn't come back here and it breaks these highs with a candle body breaking close on a daily closing basis, if it breaks up here, then I'll wait for the pullback and then I'll just take it up like I said earlier. Okay, so we'll see. This is an interesting there's some interesting price action in crude, and I want to take advantage of it. There is a demand chain here. Yes, I have this as a weak low because it hasn't made a new high here, but this is a higher low. If it makes a higher high here, I'm going to look at this as, especially if it breaks these highs and then pulls back. Hey man, I think we may get an opportunity. All right. In either case, I'm gonna wait for a proper setup. I'm looking for a proper demand. Buy. I'm looking for a proper demand. A proper demand zone to buy from. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. If price comes down, comes up, mitigates the supply, sweeps that high. If it sweeps that high, I am looking for it to come back and quite possibly give me. I know I'm repeating myself. If I can just finish the point, I think there's something to this demand zone right there. And I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm going to keep my eye on it. It is mitigated and all that good stuff. But there's a reason I think that price may come back into the range of this candle. This is a nice candle here. All right. So we'll see if it can maintain. If it comes down into this demand zone down here, it's along this trend line. I would be more than happy to take. I would be very happy to take a long from this position. All right. If it comes up here, mitigate, takes that high, pulls back to this, I'll take I might be aggressive enough to take that high. So we'll see. That's it. I appreciate you staying this long. I hope you have a great weekend, a week of trading. Hey, listen to me. Drop me a line. Hit the like button. All right. Drop me a line. Let me know that you had a great week last week and tell me what trades you made. I would love to hear from you. All right. And also, if you have a request for a market to be analyzed, just let me know and I will take a look at it for you and see what we see. All right. Stay tuned for updates. Have a great week ahead and may profits be upon you.